This is a tutorial for using a new time and billing software application developed by Harvest for Longhorn Geomatics. With this software we will enter our time and expenses for each project that we work on. This software will allow us to keep track of all our time and expenses, allow us to create invoicing, and export data to our bookkeeping software, QuickBooks. So we'll show some examples of how to use it. By now you will have received an email generated by Harvest when your name has been entered into the system. It shows you a link, and from this link you will enter the Harvest software. So with your account you'll do one of two things. You'll either enter time, you'll track your time, or you'll track your expenses. Expenses, examples of expenses for the field are things such as ATVs, RTK, your motels, your meals, your mileage, things like that. In the office, your examples of expenses will be our third-party data that we order. So every time we order data, we'll go in and enter this as an expense into the project, and this way we'll be able to start keeping track of everything. So we're going to use Brad Moser as an example here. So Brad will likely, from the field, as he works on projects, need to enter his time. So we'll go into track time. Now before you can enter time into Harvest, the project, the Longhorn job number, will have to be entered into the Harvest software. So because we've got some active projects on the go that you've already accumulated time for, and we haven't yet imported those projects into Harvest, we've got a bit of a workaround here until we get ourselves caught up and current. You'll see here that each person who enters Harvest, when you go into enter your time with the timesheets, you will choose a project, and then you'll choose a task, and you'll enter your time. But as I've said, we've been working on projects for which are not entered into the Harvest system yet, so we'll play a bit of catch up here. What you'll do is, if you go into Harvest to enter time and you don't see the job number that you're looking for, what you'll do is you'll find your name. In this case we've got Brad Moser, and you'll enter the hours that you worked on that project, let's say 8 hours. Then you'll come over here to notes, you'll enter the job number. So we'll enter a test job number, Longhorn job 119990, and then you'll just hit save entry. Then an administrator will go into the timesheets for each person and see what jobs need to be entered into Harvest, and will do so, and that's how we'll catch up. But after a period of time, after a few weeks, you'll eventually see that when you go into enter time, an administrator will have already created a project for a particular client. But if for some reason going forward, if you don't see that, just find your name and enter your time and enter the job number, and an administrator will see that a job number has to be created. Let's show an example of entering time for a project that actually has a project entered into it, into Harvest. So now if you're Brad, a member of the field staff, you can see that for billable time you've got survey field crew, survey field equipment, and those are, looks like, about the only options that you have. If you are a field assistant, you'd go down here to choose field survey assistant. Let's say Kelly Caesar, who is Brad's assistant. Kelly would log into his profile on Harvest. He would choose the appropriate job number, and he would come down and choose field survey assistant and enter his time. And then he would also enter a brief description of what he did. The reason you'll see that survey field assistant, it's flagged as non-billable, that's because when we bill our clients, we bill for a field survey crew, and we don't bill separately for a field survey party chief, and we don't bill separately for the field survey assistant. We bill for a field crew, and that's usually the party chief's hours. But Kelly also needs to input his hours so that we can track them and calculate payroll.